Hi, and welcome to TOTECS, the platform for integrated e-commerce websites. Here at TOTECS, we are a little bit excited. We've just released some amazing game-changing features into 11.4 release that can help upgrade your websites, boost your online presence, as well as keep your customers, sales reps, and staff happy navigating on whatever size device they use on your website. For over a year in development, we've been building an out-of-the-box thing we call the Master Website Design. Contains all the amazing features the platform offers, bundled into a single, beautiful, dynamic-looking website based on all the latest trends and experiences we've had building websites over the past 16 years. TOTECS has spent over $500,000 in time and development to offer you a fully featured, secure, mobile-responsive, search engine optimized, customizable, integrated website at the fraction of the development cost. Not only that, but the master website design can be deployed and set up within hours and days, as opposed to taking weeks or months if you're building an entire website from scratch. If your website is looking old and outdated, or you're still running on the platform's older trade interface, a deployed master website design content managed website is the quickest, easiest, and most cost-effective way to get your websites up to the latest standards, and of course your users and staff will love you for it. To learn more about our master website design, feel free to skip to the time shown on the screen here. Also released in 11.4 and 11.3.1 releases, we have added 2 new other features, 11 improvements, and 9 bug fixes to the platform. One of those new features is a new content managed web page area that we like to call the free draw canvas area. This area can be used on web pages to lock down the formatting of content, stopping other admins from accidentally breaking layouts and designs, while allowing your non-technical admins to update chosen content easily. To see more information about this area, skip to the time shown on the screen here. The other new feature we've added to the content managed websites is a thing we call website data hooks, which allow files and other content previously embedded across multiple content managed web page templates to be all controlled in a single location. This makes it simpler and easier for website implementers to update a website's files and contents in the one location, reducing the risk of content and changes not correctly being updated across many web pages. If you're interested about this, go to the time shown on the screen here. Another improvement we've added to the platform is to take the live product stock checks and location-based stock availability features from the trade interface's rep space feature and added it into a product detail content managed web page area. This allows sales reps to be able to see all the product stock availability through beautiful looking content managed websites, such as we can see here. You can find more details about this if you skip to the time shown in the video here. We've made another improvement to the product editor within the administration center to be able to show you additional product fields that were previously imported but hidden behind the scenes in the platform. These fields include the key product ID, which is a unique identifier of a product coming from an external business system or other data source. Also, we have average cost, which is the price on average that a product can be purchased off a supplier for, and is kitted to note if a product is a kit and made up of other component products or else is its own product. All these extra fields make it easier for admins to see and understand more information about that product and if the data was correctly being imported from connected business systems. Furthermore, in this release, we've added another format to the order checkout submission content managed web page areas to be able to show a customized message when a purchaser submits an order that is pending a manager user's approval, allowing a tailored message that helps the purchasing user to understand where the state of the order is at. Additionally, we've made a handful of other useful improvements, which you can find at the end of this video if you skip to the time shown here. As always, you can find more information about the changes to the release notes, which can be found on the TOTECS Forums by going to totecs.com/forums.html, clicking on the releases forum links to see the notes. We're always looking to improve the platform, so if you have any comments on how to do that, please feel free to post it within the TOTECS Forums. To begin with, let's get into the depths of the master website design and all the features that it brings to the table. New to the TOTECS platform in the 11.4 release is the ability to deploy a master website design, content managed website straight out of the box. When deployed, these websites come already set up with all the web pages, styling, layout, structure, and features ready to go, allowing businesses to skip spending weeks or months having to design and implement a website from scratch at the expense of tens of thousands of dollars. This allows a business to focus more on getting the content and data right, saving time and effort for everybody, as well as allowing a business to start selling and generating online revenue quicker. With only a few tweaks, a website can have the logos, colors, and themes set to be consistent with a business's branding. We can easily change the logo in the top hand corner, as well as changing the colors that appear on the page. By default, when a master website design is deployed out of the box, it comes bundled with a host of features already implemented. If we look on the homepage, we can see a number of these features already at work. First, the website uses a mobile responsive design. This means that the website can dynamically resize itself to work well on the smallest devices such as mobiles and tablets and scale up to work on larger screens. Now, if I zoom in, we can see this in action, where the button layouts that appear on the page will resize and elements will appear and disappear based on how big or how small the interface is. So as we can see here, users can still navigate the category menus, and if we scroll up the page to be bigger, we can see that different elements resize can fit perfectly into the size of the browser screen that is available. Whether you're a sales rep on the road using a tablet, a customer on the train with a mobile, or a staff member in the office at a desktop computer, a deployed master website design will resize itself to make it easier to use, allowing users to efficiently use your site. When a master website design is deployed, all of its web pages are secured, ensuring that all user data is safely transferred between the platform servers and users' browsers based on industry standard practices. In the top right-hand corner here of each page, you can see we have the green lock showing that the page is safe and secure, just like if you're using a banking website. And we can see that if we navigate to all the different pages on this master website design website here. In the homepage header, we can see that we have a bar for the categories of products that a business sells, shown in a category tree navigation menu. This allows users to quickly find the categories and products they are looking for, rather than having to navigate through multiple tiers of web pages. As talked about in the previous release video, the navigation areas are responsive and can change appearance based on how big or how small the browser is. So in this case, this is an example that can be used to easily navigate on a mobile-sized device. On the home page of a master website design deployed site, we can see that we have an image viewer that can scroll through banner images and text, and this banner is easily changeable within the backend administration center through the use of the news blogs feature. This allows admins to easily update this content, which can help the search engine ranking of the homepage, as well as be used for marketing and promotion purposes to users. This is very handy for sales and promotion events, or if there's major alerts or information that customers or other users should be aware of. In the next section on the homepage, we have 3 different types of flag products that allow users to find the best promoted products based on using the platform's product flags feature. Using product flags, admins can easily change the promoted products that display here, either through the admin center or through connected business system or spreadsheet. Users can click through the different flag products and then easily add these products to the basket without having to navigate to other pages. Additionally, there is a section for deals that allows users to quickly find product deals on offer through the use of the platform's product deals and vouchers features. Users can enter a promotion code to find products here, or they can see the products that are immediately available to them without having to enter any promotional deal codes, as we can see in these products that are displayed here. The next section contains 2 more news and blog item listing areas, allowing more content on the web page to be easily changed through the use of news and blogs feature again, but in the backend administration center. When a master website design website is deployed, automatically a latest news group will be created, as well as a case studies news group, and this allows admins to easily update this text to whatever most important news can be made available to the users. If this content changes regularly, the search engines will detect this, and that can help boost the ranking of this homepage organically. The section underneath the news and blogs contains a form allowing users to sign up and receive e-marketing emails using the platform's e-marketing feature. This can be then used to send outgoing marketing and news to opted-in website users, keeping them up to date of new deals, promotion news, and other offerings, leading to recurring traffic and sales. The section underneath that shows a second category tree that can be set up to allow users to find products based on brands. This section highlights how the platform can support multiple category trees, and we can use the second category tree to assign products to brand categories. Brand categories can then also have images set, such as we have here, allowing users to easily recognize brands and the associated products to them. The last section deployed with a master website design is in the footer, where we can see details of the business which can be easily updated, as well as a sitemap allowing users to navigate between different pages on your website. And lastly, we have the top tier categories again from the top, listed down here in the footer to allow search engines and users to easily navigate to the category pages once again, which is all important for search engine optimization. If we navigate to a category listing page, we can see all the products that have been assigned to the category. In the URL of the page, you can see it's been SEO optimized. As we can see here, keywords have been used in the category that the search engines can then use to rank this page up, increasing the chances of more users navigating to this from search engines such as Google. Additionally, on the category listing page, we have a category crumbs area that allows users to navigate back through the categories to find other products. The list of the products themselves can also be sorted, as well as the amount of records displayed on the page changed by the user as well. Additionally, users can filter the products shown by using the platform's product attribute search feature. Clicking on the filter button, users can select attributes to refine the products that they are looking for, such as, in this case, they could choose brand or size or color based on the products displayed within this category. For each product record, we can display a product image, its name, its code, a description, as well as stock availability, and that can be either the actual stock quantity, or in this case, we are showing stock indicators, such as green for in stock, yellow for if it is on low stock, or red if it's out of stock. There's also the ability to show RRP pricing. As we can see here, the price lined out is the RRP price, and the price next to it in blue is the actual price or the cheaper price that user gets, denoting that they are getting a discounted off the RRP price, which is an effective sales tool. In this listing, users can also add a product to their favorites by clicking on the heart icon. They can also find more information about the product by clicking on the eye icon. Now, if you're logged in as a sales rep user, you can take advantage of the rep space features that have been also added to the content managed websites. And that's the ability to apply discounts to prices, as well as see stock availability, such as the stock that has been queried live out of an accounting or ERP system, as well as we can see warehouse or location-based stock levels such as displayed here. So that's taking advantage of the platform's locations feature. If you're a sales rep, in the information dialog, you can also see the different price level prices that have been assigned to this product. So as we can see, there's many different prices that this product can be sold for. So this gives reps a great idea of how much they can discount the product by. In the header bar, users can also find products using the platform's searching features, as well as have autocomplete searches automatically find products for the user as they type, removing the need to load another web page. It increases the chances of buying a product then and there, rather than having to navigate to other pages. If we navigate to the shopping cart, or also known as a basket page, on the basket it also includes the quick add feature, which allows users to quickly and easily find products that they know and continually add products to basket, which is very handy for sales reps and regular customers. On the shopping cart or basket page, users they can update the quantities of products already in their basket, and they can go through and adjust these quantities in incremental amounts, or they can put in a different quantity number. If a sales rep is looking at this area, they can also see a discount field where they can then change the amount that a product is being discounted by, as well as being able to change unit prices if they have permission to. On the basket page, we can also see that if any deals were applied to a product in the basket, we can also see a description of how much the user has saved based on that deal, and display any other information about that deal as well. If we scroll down, the shopping cart page also has the freight calculator feature enabled. So if a user clicks on that button, then they can enter details about where they want the goods shipped to, which can then calculate the cost of freight based on surcharge rules being set up within the backend administration center. If I put in the postcode, the freight calculator would cost this order out at $21.65 in this freight surcharge, which can help users realistically estimate how much they're going to be paying once they've completed checkout. Users can also save the entire contents of the products that they've added to the basket to a shopping list. Once after clicking the Create New and entering a name for the shopping list, such as My Shopping List, they can also save those products to a new shopping list, and they can easily navigate to the page that allows them to view all the shopping lists, and later on add those products back into the basket and purchase. And that's very handy for if you're a regular user or customer or a sales rep that consistently buys the same kind of products on a regular basis. Just like on the homepage, we also have another deals and vouchers form here where the users can enter any promotion codes and then redeem deals on this page as well, and apply those deals to the products already in the basket. The basket page also shows the related products area and feature. This area can show similar products to those already in the user's basket, and it can entice users to buy more products just before they're about to check out and finish off their ordering process. If we scroll back to the top and go into the My Items section, on the My Items page, we have a number of sections. The first section is favorites, so users can view the products that they had previously marked as favorites, and then they can then choose to buy these products. They can also go into contracts. In the contracts section, we can see that there are 2 contracts that apply to the user's assigned customer account. And then from there, we can then go in and view the details of each contract and see the products that have been on contract and the price that has been set for those contracts. So this allows, once again, users to easily find products that their account has been assigned to. In the shopping list section, we can see all the shopping lists that the user has created. Then we can see the details of this shopping list. So we can see the products assigned to the shopping list, and then we can then purchase those products. We can also see if the shopping list was shared between multiple users. We can see the users that that user has been shared with, as well as add more users to the shopping list and send a request or a notification telling them that this shopping list has been shared with them. So this shows you, it takes advantage of the shopping list and the shopping list sharing features that are available in the TOTECS platform. If we go to the most ordered page, from all the orders that the users previously made, we can see all the products that they have ordered and the highest quantities of products that they have previously ordered, and that it can increases the chances to be able to find and purchase those products again. Within the order history section, we can see all the orders that the user has previously submitted. So in this case, we have a number of orders. Then we can go into each order and then view the details of the order and how much the totals were made for. We can also then reprint those orders into a print-friendly format that allows them to be then saved as a hard copy. Additionally, within the order history, you can then re-import an order and the products that was previously ordered using the import button, and they will be then added to the user's basket. If the user logged in as a rep user, there's pages configured to allow them to see all the accounts that they have been assigned to, allowing them to then order on behalf of a specific account that is available to them. They can also search for accounts that are both active and inactive, as well as find accounts based on company names or login IDs with users who are associated to those accounts. So this takes the features that were made available in the trade interface at RepSpace and makes them available in the content managed site. And the same goes for reps being able to use multiple baskets. On the baskets page, a sales rep can see previous baskets they have created, allowing them to handle multiple purchases across many different customers at the same time, and being able to have clear separation between the baskets that they're currently using. And this baskets feature could be also useful for where you have large organizations who may purchase across several divisions, and they want to have clear separation between the divisions that are the list of products that the divisions are purchasing. The master website design also supports account inquiry features. If we click on the My Baskets area, the accounts page can make live queries into integrated accounting system or ERP system in the backend, and it can show outstanding invoices such as we see here, the amounts that are outstanding and due, as well as users to pay for selected invoices by making a credit card payment. It also supports the other account inquiry functions, such as being able to view transactions. And then we can see that the balance adjusting on an account live from the accounting system. We can also look at invoices. We can also look at the history of invoices that are stored within the accounting or ERP system. We can view credits and the amounts that have been credited back to an account and go into the details of each of those records. We can also print them out in print-friendly formats. We can view the list of payments, so payments that have been made and against that account and the amount that has been paid and when it's been due. Once again, view the details of the payments. We can see any outstanding back orders that are already in the system and view the details of what products are on back order and the totals of that record itself. We can also view all the sales orders that are currently sitting in the connected configured accounting system or ERP system, as well as allowing to print the details of those records as well. So the master website design supports all of the advanced account inquiry features that can all work in a mobile responsive website, making it easier for customers and sales reps in a well-sized format. The other feature that already comes implemented out of the box is Make Model. Make Model allows users to search for products based on knowing a model, such as in this case, if we look at printer cartridges, it allows users to be able to find products based on the printer cartridge that they need to get replenished in their business. We have the ability to search for models based on both manufacturer, and the model, and then if depending on the model data that's available in the project, then we can also filter it down by years, which is very handy for automotive industries or that have models that are regularly released. And once again, the user can then go, once they've found that model, then they can go and view the associated products for it. In this case, they can see a whole bunch of products that are associated with this toner. In a master website design, there's also a contact us page that has already been set up with a pre-configured inquiry form, so that allows users to easily just fill in the form if they've got any inquiries. And then we also have reCAPTCHA turned on by default, so that way automated software can't try to mimic filling out this form as a real person. Of course, we've also got the ordering areas that have been set up to allow users to check out. And in the checkout process, they can add or set addresses, as well as choose how they're going to pay for an order. The order detail format's already available, and you can see the products here that are on the order and the totals that are set up. We can see the freight charges as you would expect, and then we can submit these orders. Additionally, the master website design deployed websites also support guest checkout out of the box. So if I wasn't logged in and I click on the checkout button, the user has the option to log in, to register, or they can continue on the order process by entering their contact details, such as you can see here, and allowing to proceed through the order checkout process, once again using reCAPTCHA to make sure that they are a legit real person and not some automated software trying to submit fraudulent orders. And the guest checkout feature is a great way to get users purchasing products without actually having to register, which can be cumbersome depending on your industry and how much the users are willing to put the extra effort to order. So that gives you an overview of the features that are deployed out of a master website design. Next, we'll look at how to set up one of these websites. To deploy a new content managed website based on a master website design, there's a couple of things that we have to do first. The first is a domain needs to be purchased on the website that you want to create. So if you want to have yourcompany.com, you first need to purchase that domain. And the second thing you need to do is purchase a security certificate for that domain. And the security certificate is used to make sure all the web pages have been secured. Once that's been done, talk to the TOTECS service team about being able to set up that domain in the platform. With that done and said, once we're in the admin center, we can now deploy that new website. If we go into the website sections and we go and click on the new website, a change that we've made in the 11.04 release is now the ability to set up all the details of the domain here. So if you've got mycompany.com, you set up the domain there. The root domain is the domain which sessions are stored against. Typically, you're going to be the main domain or the root domain of that website. The email address itself is the email address that any notifications to do with inquiry forms made through this content managed website will be sent to this email address. So you'll put in such as an admin user's email address or a generalized company email address, maybe contact at my company. Now the other part is the login URLs and the logout URLs. So these are the URLs that the user should be taken to once they log into this content manager website. So you may not want them to go to the home page. You may want them to go to a completely separate page altogether, such as landing.html. So it's up to you to decide which is the best option. But by default, out of the box, it just takes you back to the home page. And the same for the logout. Once a user logs out, where should they be taken to? So that's what these settings control. The most important setting we have here is the website design. So there's two options you can do in TOTECS. You can either create an empty website, and that means that there's no pages, there's no HTML templates, there's no JavaScript files. It is an absolutely blank website that can be built up from scratch. Now the new option we have here is to set the master website design 1. So what we were showing you previously is the first master website design that we've come up, and in the future TOTECS may come up with more designs and more variations to allow you to give more flexibility on how you want your website to look. So we'll choose master website design 1. Now with that selection set, we need to set now some initial configurations for the new site that we are creating. So when we first deploy this website design, we need to choose the category tree, which will be used as the primary method of navigation. So that's the category tree if the users can see from the top in the header bar in order to navigate through and find products. We can choose from one of the existing category trees, Or if you wanted to use a different category tree, you could create it within the Category Administration Center interface. For now, we'll choose the Retail category tree. Now, the second category tree is the Brands category tree. So we need to choose the category tree that will be used to display the brands right at the bottom in the footer bar. If you don't have a Brands category tree set up in your project, if you're already got an existing site, then you may need to set up that, or you'd leave it to not set. So in this case, we do have a Brands category tree, so we need to select that. Now, in the future, you can always adjust these settings. So these are just initial configurations that can be then tweaked and tailored once the website has been deployed. The next setting is to do with the search profile. So in the top here where we have this search box, you can choose which product field should be used in order to find products. And that's what a search profile controls. So we can choose a different search profile which will dictate which products match based on users typing in a keyword. So we can use any word, so that means that if they type a code or name, it will match any words set against any products that contain that matching string that they set. Whereas all words, if they had entered multiple words into the search box, such as, let's say, A4 paper, only products that have both A4 and paper in their product code or product name will be found. So that search profile is a lot more strict, the all words one, whereas the any words one's a lot more flexible. And the other one is just code. So if you wanted that search box to only be able to set, the user would have to set a code in order to find the match products, then you would set that as the search profile. Once again, these settings can be changed. Now, you may come up with different fields based on different data, product data, and based on how users expect to find certain pieces of information doing their searches. So for now, we'll just use an any word in code name, since that is a fairly popular search. The other part are these next three settings control the flags that should be used on the home page. So on the home page, we have these flags for featured, new, and specials. So we can control which products should be displayed and which flags should be set for each of these different sections. So we could go for the features, which is the first set of products that are flagged on the homepage. We could set, in this case, we don't have a flag called featured, so instead we could use environmentally friendly instead for that area. And the same goes for the new. For the new kind of products, we would say the new release flag exists, and on special we could use that flag because that exists. So if a flag doesn't exist, you could create one within the administration center, or you could set these areas to not set, and then no products would appear initially on the homepage. And then in the future, you could add additional flags and change these settings. So that's it. Once we've filled out this form, so just to make sure we've purchased that domain, whatever my company is for you in your example, you've purchased a security certificate for that, you've notified the TOTECS service team about that domain that needs to be added to the platform to be able to handle any requests, you've set up DNS rules, now it's time to create the website. So we click the create button. The website is successfully being created. The website's interface will reload itself, and now you can see the new content managed website that has been created based on the master website design that you've selected. Now, if we look at this website, we can already see that a number of pages have already been created, and they're all been secured based on the lock that is shown against them. We've also got a number of image libraries. We have no attachment libraries since they're not required for a new website. We have version controlled repositories, so every time a new master website design website is deployed, we have a Git repository that contains all the files which are used in order to be able to generate the styling as well as managing the layouts of the web pages. So this is a little bit different compared to previous content managed websites that we've deployed, in that all the content is added into a Git repository, and admins can't just go in and modify these files without first pulling all the entire set of files, using Git to download them into their own machine, and then using Git to then push up the changes. So this is, for implementers, this is a major change in how these websites have been deployed. So if you look at this, there's a folder here that stores all the CSS, which is required to do the styling of the website, and that actually is made up of the CSS is compiled from Foundation, and Foundation is a web library that is used to handle all the mobile responsive layouts. So under the JavaScript section and the SCSS section, we have all the Foundation related content, that is all here, and all these files are being used to generate the CSS files, ultimately style the pages. So if you're a website implementer and you're going to be working on a master website design, you need to learn firstly how to use Git in order to be able to then pull changes to your local machine and modify them there. And you're also going to have to learn Foundation and how Foundation works in order to be able to generate the minified CSS files. Additionally, in this repository, we have icons are being stored, we have logos. So if we wanted to change the logos that are put on the header bars, we got it there. We've got a number of other flag icons that you can then leverage and utilize in the project. We've got e-marketing. So what comes bundled also with a master website design is a number of email templates and e-marketing pages, which we can then use in order to send out e-marketing. Besides that, we have web page templates. So these templates are used in order to then display how the web pages, which areas are positioned in which locations and which containers exist. Besides that, we have a number of formats so each of the areas that have been added to each of the web pages that have been deployed are based on global formats that we've added into TOTECS. So there's quite a number of new global formats, and they all start off with the MWD and then a version number prefix. So by looking at this, you can see that there are a number of different ways in which we can style a product detail area. And then we can pick and choose these formats, which are all compatible and all can be used in order to display the product detail area in a different way. So in this case, it could have the buttons that allow users to increment or decrement the amount of quantity of products they're ordering. And so these new formats have been littered across the entire board of all the different kind of areas that have that can be set up in one of these new kind of sites. And then here's another example where in the search listings, you can display products in a grid style as opposed to a list style or in a very tool style. So there's a number of different ways in which we can then configure and customize an out-of-the-box solution. So that gives you a broad idea of how easy and simple it is to deploy a master website designed, content managed website. Now, when you deploy a new master website design, it's going to then use whatever data and whatever features are being turned on within that TOTECS project. So if you're not seeing beautiful looking images for products, it's because you may not have assigned images to your products yet. So all the data work still needs to happen. And in order to get your product data in, get in your account data in, get it in all those other pieces of information, such as related data, your categories, setting up your categories. So all that data work still needs to be done, but you can already start playing with all the web pages, which have already been set up, as well as you can start extending this and creating your own web pages and extending the website to meet your specific needs. Another thing to note, if you're implementing and changing the contents of these websites, if we go into the website details, so if any time you need to change the domains in the future, this is the place to do that. You can also set up some defaults, so that's already been set up. So which page is going to be by default handle displaying the category listings, as well as which page displays the details of the products and the makes and models, that's already been set up. The main difference we have is that the master website designed websites now use website data hooks in order to load and update the associated files that are stored in the repositories. If you updated content in the repositories, and then such as changing a JavaScript file or a CSS file, then those files are referenced here in these website data hooks, and you'll be able to see, if you go to this time shown on the screen, you'll be able to see more about how website data hooks work. But note that there is a dependency that we've added for these kind of websites now deployed. If we go back to the My Company, so in any of these pages, you can already see that all of these pages already have areas that have been set up. So there's a number of global areas that can handle the same content that displays across many web pages, and there's also local areas that have also been set up. So in this case, we can see a number of category areas, category listing areas, which are used in order to display the different ways that categories can be shown, and some of them are not hidden. So you can see that if we wanted to display categories as a grid as opposed into a list form, we just need to activate that area and turn off the other category listing areas. And already the areas will have been already configured based on the defaults that you set when first setting up this website. So we can see that's already assigned the retail category tree, in this case to this category, product category area. And so if you want to then change the category tree, you'd need to go into each of the areas and then choose whichever category tree is most applicable for your needs. So you just got to be mindful. So the deployer, when it's first deployed, has set up defaults in these areas, but then you can go in and you can adjust these to meet whatever needs you need for that specific website. So the other thing when a website is deployed was the news and blog item. So if we go to the news and blogs, we can see that there are a number of news groups that have been created. And so in this case, there has been home banners is the news group that handles showing news items on the home page. If we went into home banners, we can already see we've got those 4 news items that were appearing, and then we can see where the contents of that text that was displaying on the home page, such as we can see here, this text, this non-stop e-commerce. So this was coming out of the news item that had this content here. So if we wanted to change the text, we simply go into this news item, click the save button, update it, and that would refresh it on the home page. So it's important to note, if you create multiple of these Master Website Designs websites, that you're going to get these new news groups appear, and they're going to have default items assigned to it. So you may want to go into here and then start putting in legitimate content within these news items. And in the future, if you want to change them, you would also go into here to update the images or the content as well. So that gives you a wrap up of the Master Website Design deployer and all the features that are available in a Master Website Design Content Managed website. If you are interested in getting started with one of these websites, please talk to this TOTECS service team and we can set you up with a site and help you get going. So if you're ready to upgrade your website, if you're looking that you want to get on board and start using these Master Websites Designs, or if you've got any questions whether or not they can handle specific use cases that you have on your existing sites, come talk to the service team. We can get you going and we can look at the quickest way to getting your website upgraded and working amazingly. A new feature we've added into the TOTECS platform in the 11.4 release is a new area we are calling the Free Draw Canvas area. And this area is very similar to another area we've got in the platform called a Free Draw area. Now we can see examples of this Free Draw Canvas area on a Master Website Designed Content Managed website. And the Free Draw Canvas area is actually being used to display the headings here for latest news. It's also being used for case studies, and it's being used in other locations that appear on this homepage. Now, previously, we'd be using the Free Draw area to be able to handle the labeling of these headings. And the Free Draw area is simply where we can put any kind of content in a container that appears on the page. The problem, however, is the Free Draw area may have hidden markup, and that is the hidden code that sits behind the area, and then administrators can come in and destroy that code, and then that can then affect the layout of the page. So using our Free Draw Canvas area, we can eliminate that problem. If we go into the Administration Center under the Websites menu, if we scroll down into the Web Area Format Libraries, you can see that there's a new area type created called Canvas, and underneath there's an area called Free Draw Canvas. Now this Free Draw Canvas area allows us to set one format. The format can contain any kind of content that we want to put into the format as opposed to put into the content of the Free Draw area. So if we have a look here, there is a format that has been created called Home, News, Blogs and Heading. And if we go into that, we can see that an implementer has put in this hidden markup here, such as a class name for the H5 tag. And then by putting it in a format ensures that this class attribute can never be taken away. Whereas in a Free Draw area, that could have been deleted if an admin decided to delete a heading and then add it back again. So the Free Draw Canvas area makes sure that does not happen. Now, if we go onto the home page, we can see where this area is being used into effect. So if we go into our latest news heading, that's the area that's controlling this heading there, and we open it up in the area editor, you can see that the text for latest news is being set in one of these area settings, these user-defined value 2. So if an administrator wanted to change that heading from latest news in order to say newest news, they would simply just have to change the text that is displayed in this setting, click the save button, and when they refresh, we can see that the the heading is now changed to newest news. So for a non-technical administrator, this is much simpler since they can just need to go into the area and change the text here. Very simple, but yet very effective. So an implementer implementing this area gets to decide which inputs should be used in the format that is assigned to the area, which controls different elements. So we can see the first user-defined value here actually sets the page which is going to take the user to which page should they go to. So if they clicked on the heading itself, that will take the user to the latest news page. So we could change that page the user is taken to if we just updated this setting here. Very simple to do, and ensures that the markup is not destroyed in the area. So when should this area be used, this free draw canvas area? The best candidate is if you create a new free draw area, such as we do here, and you put up any kind of content you want. This is some example text. But if at any time we wanted to go into the source of the code by clicking on the source in the toolbox and then putting in some hidden elements, and what we call is anything within these angled brackets would be hidden elements. And then we wanted to put in attributes, such as let's put a style attribute and give it a color which is going to be green. We can see here that it has now changed the color of the text, but if we wanted to keep an admin from being able to directly change this attribute or any of this hidden styling, then we would want to convert this area from a free draw area and into a free draw canvas area. So any kind of hidden markup that you don't want other admins tampering with should be instead use the other area where we can use the formats in order to save those hidden elements that administrators would not otherwise see if they didn't know how to write markup and use the source in the free draw area. So the free draw canvas area we've been utilizing substantially, as you can see, with all the different global formats that have been created for the master website designs. And then going forward, we'd expect this to increase. So another example where the free draw canvas area has been used is in order to control this logo. So we can simply go and find the area that controls that, which in this case is an area called global header image, and that contains the reference to the logo file. So if we wanted to change the file name of the logo, we would just have to go into this area and alter the file name within this path set within the canvas area and not have to touch up any of the markup that's already been configured for that area. A new feature that we've added to the TOTECS platform in the 11.4 release is the ability to set website data hooks. So if we go into a content manager website, and we have an example that's based on the master website design, if we click on the domain of that website and go into the website details, there's a new section being added to there called Global Website Data Hooks. And what this means is that we can have this concept of data hooks that can be embedded across multiple templates that exist for the website. And then we can replace those hooks, we call them, with the content that is displayed in the hook values displayed here. So the reason behind this is that on a website, you may have multiple web page templates. So in this case, we've got 5 different web page templates, and they're all used to control the structure of those web pages. So here's an example. This page here, the latest news page, would have sections that break up the header, the main content, and the footer areas, and where the containers are stored to be able to set up this page. Now this page would have to load up images and other CSS and JavaScript files in order to correctly have this page display the way it needs to. We may use similar templates but slightly different across different web pages for the whole website. If we have to do that, there may be occasions where we would have to say this template has to have a CSS file that controls the styling, as so does this template, so does the category template, and so does the blank template. Now previously you would have to embed links into all of these templates. And there's a problem. It means that if we change that file, that CSS or JavaScript file or other content file in any of these templates, and then we don't change it in the other, then we could break certain pages that are depending on those templates. So in order to mitigate this situation, we have introduced the concept of website data hooks. And that means that the values of these hooks can be set in one single location, and then we can embed these hooks across any of these web page templates. So if we look in the category template, you can see that we have a hook that has been created here called WDH, which stands for Website Data Hook, and then called Head Resources. So what's going to happen is that the hook here that has been defined against the website, the content of it within the value is then going to be substituted where that hook is in that template. So effectively, if we copied that and set that where that hook was, that's what would happen when the web page has been loaded in real time. So this same hook has been used across multiple templates, as we can see here. The web WDH head resources hook has also been used in this template, and it's been used in the other templates that are available here. So this is beautiful. So if we change the CSS file, and one of those CSS files that we have available is called app and with a version number, and we decide to change the version of it from 1.0 to 1.1, we just have to rename the file once in one location, and then it's going to apply across all the content managed websites that have those website data hooks. So if you're a website implementer, this can make it much simpler and easier to manage and maintain a content managed website, and the net effect is that you'll save time and you'll reduce errors in the process. Under the global website data hooks section, we can create new hooks by simply clicking on the add data hook, and then we can give it the hook a name, whatever we want to call it, and then we can give it whatever value. And then we can decide where we want to use that hook. Now, we recommend using a prefix called WDH, so that way you know that this is a hook that's coming from the website data hooks and it's familiar as opposed to other hooks that are available in those templates based on containers. Now, you try to want to avoid creating too many website data hooks, since the more hooks that exist, the more that needs to be loaded at the time the web page displays. So as you can see here, rather than creating a website data hook for every single file we've embedded into those templates, we've instead created just 2 hooks that contain all the content that we need in that one location within those templates. So that makes sure that it's very fast for the platform to get out this data, put it into the templates without having to go through tens or hundreds of these records, which would slow down the page loads. Now, if you wanted to delete a hook, all you need to do is simply click on the delete button, and that would remove it. If you want to update it, the content, just click on the save button, and then you'll see a message telling you that its content has been saved. If you have any more questions about website data hooks and how you can use them, feel free to post on the TOTECS Forums, where we can answer any further questions you have. An improvement we've added to the TOTECS platform in the 11.3.1 release is the ability to show stock quantity availability within a content managed website, and that's for live stock availability as well as location-based stock availability. And this is taking functionality over from the trade interface into a content managed site. So if we go to our master website design website, what we've done is on a product detail area, such as the one that we've got shown in this pop-up, where there is now the ability for sales reps to be able to see stock quantity availability. So in the area, a new format has been added that controls each of the records that display here, and then we can see there's different kinds of stock quantities that we can view. So the online quantity is the quantity that has been previously been imported into the platform when the connector updates were made, or if product stock data import had been made. That's where that number would come from. The live availability is if we have the connector that has been able to query live into an associated accounting or ERP system, then we'll be able to query the stock quantity availability live in that system, guaranteeing that the sales rep is seeing the most up-to-date numbers available. That may not be turned on, and if that's not, you'll see text that says that you cannot see that data. And additionally, what we can show also is location-based stock quantities. So if locations had been imported into TOTECS from an ERP or accounting system, and they have had products assigned to those locations, we can see the stock of quantity availability from that data that has been imported. So in this case, we've got 2 locations that have been imported, and we can see the stock quantity availability at those different locations. So this area, the product detail area, now contains new formats that allows us to show this information if the system has been turned on and the sales rep user is allowed to view this stock quantity information. So to do that, there's a few things that need to be set up. Firstly, if we go into the Administration Center under the Website section, if we go down to the Web Area Format Libraries and go into the Products section, under the product detail area, you can now see that there is now a new format that exists called product stock quantity. And this is the format that controls how each of these records, when they are loaded, how they display. So you can see that we have some styling that breaks up the kinds of stock availability that we want to show. And if we go into that format, you can actually see that we're using a table to display this grid of stock quantities. So you can see there's hooks available where you can choose from the kinds of stock that quantities that you want to show in the area. Maybe we didn't want to show the on-hand and back order amounts because they're not relevant for the accounting system that you're using. So we could have easily deleted them, and then they would get removed also from the area when it's displayed on the Content Manager web page. There's hooks available for all the different kinds of stock availability that you want to show. And additionally, within the product detail format, there's been a new hook that's been added, and that is called product stock quantity div. That div controls allowing the stock quantities to be able to be embedded within the product detail area. So if that hook is not embedded, then this whole section would not display. And it's an important thing to also note, in a product detail area, if no product stock quantity format has been assigned, then this data also will not show. Now, the other part of the equation is the user permissions, whether or not they get a permission to view the stock quantities. So back within the administration center, if we go under to the user section, go to user permissions, and we find in this case, we find the user that we're currently logged in as. In the facility role, if we look at that, go down to the bottom here, and we search for warehouse, there's a setting here that controls whether or not the user is allowed to look at product stock availability for different warehouse locations. So if that was set to deny, then the sales rep would not be able to see those two sets of lines there. And if it's enabled, then it's all fine. The other permission that is relevant is this permission called view live product stock. So if that was set to deny, then the sales rep user would not be able to see the live stock quantities, and live checks would not be able to be made as well. And that brings up another point, that if the connector is unavailable to pull out this live information, or the connection no longer exists between the TOTECS servers and the connector, then this area may take a long time to load since those connections could not be made. So it's important to make sure that if you're using stock live checks, that you have a good internet connection running in order to allow them to be for fast retrievals. Otherwise, it is recommended to turn that feature off, as it will slow down page load times and area load times. The other settings that is relevant here is under the general settings. And if you want to show locations-based data, you need to have the location setting turned on. The other feature within the general settings under the stores menu is this live stock check. Now, if that's set to off, this live stock checks will also not be made as well. Like I was saying before, you really only want to turn this setting on if it's absolutely necessary for the sales rep to see live stock checks. Otherwise, the potential is if the connection goes down to the connector, then that's going to slow down your web pages from loading. So be very careful about turning this setting on, and only do it if it's absolutely necessary. Another setting that we've added as a part of this is if you go into the inventory product settings and scroll down to the stock quantity live label. So the label that is displaying here is coming from this setting, stock quantity live label. So if we wanted to change that setting to instead to say live, we could say instead real time. Then that's the setting that would control having this label updated. So you've got that ability to change that setting here if you need to do that as well. And same for if the stock could not be found or is not available, then the label that displays in each of these fields will be controlled based on this setting here. So instead of NA, we could have written it as not available when the data could not be retrieved from the connector, or there is just simply no stock available for that given warehouse location. And that brings me to the final aspect, is if you're doing location-based stocks, then you need to import the locations, and then you can see the locations from the inventory menu, and then we can go into each location, and then we can view the products that have been assigned to it, and you can see where all those numbers, or that stock quantity numbers, are coming from when assigned to certain products. So if we wanted to, we could manually modify these numbers here, but it would be much smarter to use the connector to retrieve that data out of an accounting system that contains the accurate numbers. That gives you an overview of how sales reps can now view stock availability within a content managed website hosted on the TOTECS platform. The next improvement we've added to the TOTECS platform in the 11.4 release has to do with order submission. Now, if a user is a purchasing user and they want to submit an order, such as in this case, and click the submit button, we've now created a new format that allows a tailored message to display when the order is marked as pending and requires a purchaser manager approval. In previous releases, we talked about how the purchaser manager approvals feature works. So look at the 11.02 release video to find out how that feature comes together. Within the admin center, if we go into the websites interface and go down to the web area format libraries, under the order checkout area, if we look at the order checkout submission, a new format has been added called order submission pending message. So this format will display in the area when the user has successfully submitted an order but requires a purchaser manager's approval. So in this case, we can tailor a message to say your order will be submitted once it's approved by your manager. So you may want to tailor this message to the language that is used best within your business. And you've got an option of several different elements of the order, which you can also show in this, such as order number or the total or the ability for the users then to print the order. So administrators now can then tweak and tailor this message in the order submission process. A couple of small improvements we've added into the TOTECS platform in the 11.3.1 and 11.4 releases has to do with under the websites. If you now go into a content manager website and modify any web page, in the view all areas, and within the title of the browser, you can now see the name of the web page, which is very helpful if you're modifying multiple web pages at the same time, as well as the name of the page now appears in the web page settings. So that makes it easier for implementers to understand what page they're working on when working on a content manager website. Another new improvement we've added to the TOTECS platform in the 11.4 release is the ability on any content manager web page areas that display search results records to be able to show or hide different elements based on if a product is a combination, a parent combination product or not. So if we have a look at here, and under a category called office chairs, if we scroll down, we can see that we can buy these chairs, such as this clerical chair here. But we can see for this product here, Chair CL2000, this is actually a parent combination product. And what this means is that this product represents a range of different products that could come in different colors and themes and styling. So there's no ability to buy this kind of product because it is just basically a placeholder kind of product. So the new feature that we've added is a hook that can be added into the format that displays this product record to be able to show or hide different elements based on whether or not it is a parent combination product or not. So in this case, it is a combination product. So we're hiding the quantity boxes, we're hiding the pricing, and the user is forced to go into and view more detail of that product. So if we go and navigate there, you can see that this product, there is actually 4 different products associated to it. So we can purchase any one of these child products. If we look here, the product can come in different colors, such as in burgundy, red, or super red, and it can come with armrests, a fixed back, a swivel, or a different colored fixed backed chair. So to be able to support this functionality to hide or show different elements based on the product, if we go into the administration center, go under the websites menu, and we go down into the web area format libraries, if we go under any area that uses the product search record format, so an example is this within the product search results listing, as well as products category listing areas also use the same format. If we go into there and open up any format, one of the hooks that we've added is called add product quantity allowed, and that can either have the values of Y or N. The product is allowed to be added to basket, then it's going to return the value Y. If it's not, it's going to turn the value N. And then we can use that to embed it within an element within the HTML web page in order to show or hide different elements using class styling rules. So we can see where this has come into effect. If we look in the CSS of this area, we can see that there is an N displaying, telling it to hide the elements that would otherwise allow the product to be added to basket. And it's if it's set to yes, then those elements would then change and allow them to be seen. This is a great feature in order to be able to then make sure that the users can only see elements and perform tasks based on what is available to them. Another improvement we've added to the TOTECS platform in the 11.3.1 release is the ability on a product combination area displayed on a content managed website to be able to allow users to add products to basket from the list of child products assigned to it. So if we take a look at our example here, this chair is a placeholder that represents a number of different products. And in this case, we have 4 different products that contain different colors as well as different elements that appear in the chair. So the new hooks that we've added is the ability to now set quantities in this area, such as here, as well as hooks to allow users to buy these products listed in this area. Previously, the users would have to select from a radio button the products that they're interested in, and then they would have to select a buy button separately. So now it makes it nice and easy for users to be able to then purchase multiple of these child products that come in different styles and colors and options directly from the product combination area in a nice, easy format. Now, to set this up on the administration side by implementers, we need to go into the website's interface. If we go into the web area format libraries and then go into the product section, under the product combination area, there is a format called Combination Product Option List Record, and that's the format that controls each of these products that are listed within the product combination area. So within that format, we've added a number of new hooks, and they each start with Add Product Basket, and this allows you then to specify if you want to put in the quantity box field, such as we have here. If you want to put in the discounting field, so if they're sales rep, we could put in a discount text box next to it, allowing the user to discount based on the unit price they're seeing. There also ability to allow the user to add to basket using the on-click function, so that's used in this button here, as well as the hooks to whether or not the user is actually allowed to change the pricing based on if they are or are not a sales rep. So each of these hooks can be used within the format in order to create the desired look and appeal for that product combination child products list that appears there. Now that gives you a wrap-up of the releases for the 11.4 and 11.3.1 releases in the TOTECS platform. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please head to the TOTECS Forums, where we're happy to have a discussion there. And we can't wait to start setting up some new master website design, content managed websites with you and get your websites looking amazing on the platform. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and happy online trading until next time.